This video is to outline how to install your DPE100. This photograph shows you the way the first units were delivered, though later units may come in a shipping box. You will find this packaging very secure and protective. This shows you the DPE100 standing next to me, and you can see it is a little over a meter long. Later versions may be just a little bit shorter than this. You will notice there are wires which extend out of the bottom and are taped to the side. Leave these taped to the side just as you received it. These wires perform an important role in the earthing process. In terms of where you locate your device, the recommendation you will see in the instructions is to install it on the north side of your property. However, for many of us this is not practical, and from the inquiries I have made, there is no clear reason to question that it would work in any location. It has been witnessed that plants tend to grow towards the device, and this pattern is symmetrical around the device, which means there is no sense of direction in this behavior. And so, if you can, install it on the north side, but if the south is the only place, or the east or the west, and that is close to where you spend time, then use that location. Basically, you need to dig a post hole to install it. The hole is a little deeper than you would normally dig a post hole, as it needs to be about 1 meter deep. If you have clean soil without construction refuse or other materials in the soil, then you can use a post hole digger like this one to dig the hole. However, if you are like me and you are in an area where you are uncertain if there are electrical cables or water or gas pipes or building refuse and so on, it is better to dig the hole manually and carefully so you can deal with what you find. In my case, as you can see, I dug it by hand with a crowbar and long-handled shovel, and you can see here the kind of debris that came forth as I dug. Using a mechanical post hole digger would have been impossible in my situation, and it may be in yours. Ideally, you bury it until there is only some 15 centimeters exposed above the ground, which is about 6 inches. Though if you are like me and the debris was such that it was not possible to get completely to that depth, then, as I have, leaving it a little further out of the ground will not impact its performance, since the key is the earthing. Once you have installed it, I recommend you tip a bucket or two of water into the device by screwing off the top and tipping the water in and then screwing the top back on. I look at this as a bit like transplanting a new tree, where you would water it into the ground. What you're doing is ensuring that the earth settles around the device and gives you optimum earthing. That's it. If you are in a dry area, then it is recommended that you pour water into the device every month or two during the summer months to ensure you have good earthing. If you are sensitive to EMF interference from the current technologies of 3G, 4G and other sources, then you will likely feel an immediate benefit from installing this device. If you have installed it to protect yourself from extreme weather events, then the test will be when the first of these events arises, and you see that you are protected from the intensity of it. In terms of healing outcomes, again, this is a gradual process, and it will take a while for this to emerge. I am interested by the observations from my Italian friends that when you spend a lot of time in the energies of one of these devices, you become very aware of when you leave it. Mine has not been installed very long at this point, and so I have not experienced this as yet. I wrote about this recently, where I said this is a bit like the frog put in cold water which is gradually heated up, and it does not jump out. The microwave and other interference that we are subjected to is a little like this. It is gradually ramped up over the years. If you have an EMF measurement meter and you have intense EMF energies in your environment, then you are likely to see a measurable shift. If these energies are not so high, it will not so readily show. However, commercial meters do not measure up to the high frequencies or millimeter wave band that is one of the bands used for 5G, and so your meter will not reflect this. Typically they top out at 8 MHz. As I understand it, the only equipment that can measure the millimeter band frequencies are expensive professional devices, though this may change over time. Remember that this device is impacting many different forms of energy that interfere with us, including radiation and the concentrations of radon gas in our environment, so there are many elements that are difficult to measure, making it difficult to assess the full impact on our living environment. Also, the DPE100 interacts with a column that is 200 kilometers high, and in so doing you are playing your part in reinstating the energy environment of the planet. I understand we need about 100,000 of these devices around the planet to provide full planetary protection and a reinstatement of the energetic environment of, say, 10,000 years ago, which plants and our bodies are optimized for. I hope you find this video helpful. Please email me with any questions that you have.